Hello and welcome to Nursing 336, Nursing Research for RNs. I'm John Dyson. I'll be your facilitator for this course, helping you understand the world of research. And when I repeat that, what comes to mind is the professor that I had when I took this course who introduced it to me by saying, "Welcome to the wonderful world of being a nurse researcher." And I thought to myself, I don't want to be any kind of researcher. I have to take this class because it's a requirement for the program. What I'm hoping you'll find through this course is totally what I discovered, anyway, that nursing research is something you use every day in everyday practice. And as a result, you need to be able to look at research through a critical eye to make sure that what you're presenting for a change in your policy and procedure, for example, at work, or the way things are just run on your unit, hopefully you'll find you can look at that research more critically and realize, hey, there's something to this if it's done right, and we need to make this change. I hope you enjoy the course. Well, some of you may be excited like this. Probably some of you not. Some of you very nervous. Why are you here? Have you thought about it that way? Well, for some of you, you're going, well, I needed to take this as the next course so I can keep progressing through the program. Others have institutions that are requiring that you take the BSN completion course to earn your bachelor's degree so you can have a career progression ladder. And still others maybe are considering going on to master's or even doctoral work as you go through this program. And some people are doing it just to get additional nursing education and complete their bachelor's degree. Every one of those reasons is good. Did you know, though, that research shows that as a nursing student, you're likely to experience even more stress than your friends and colleagues enrolled in other programs? Can you tell I love this slide? Or another study found that nursing students experience higher levels of stress than those who are medical, social work, and pharmacy students? Makes you wonder what you're thinking. And yet another one shows 1/3 of nursing students experience stress enough to produce mental health problems such as anxiety and depression. That's why we've included a stress reduction kit, although I don't recommend your computer monitor be the bang head here. If you really need it, I'll be happy to email you a version you can print out and place on the firm surface like it says. Well, all kidding aside, this is a stressful program. This is a stressful course, but I have a goal of helping you through it and making it a smooth understanding. My goal is not necessarily to have you become master researcher. My goal is to help you understand what research is, how it's conducted, and how you use it in everyday practice. So stop for a moment and take a deep breath and realize, okay, I'm on your side. And I need your help, and hopefully you'll use my help, and we'll work together to make this experience a positive one. I've had a lot of good comments about the course as far as looking at things that in a different perspective than they had before. I'm hoping you find that as well. So this week's agenda, we're going to talk over course expectations, projects, assignments, and grades. That'll be this particular PowerPoint you're viewing now. Many things that are due, we're going to work through them, and we have some flexibility. So just stay with the program, stay with what we have set up for a course timeline for you. I've worked very hard on that, and our instructors have worked very hard in putting together these particular projects. And I think you'll find it's something that does open your eyes to what researchers do, perhaps in a different light. In the next PowerPoint, you'll find out why research is important, and it'll offer a brief history review. And also will include an overview of the research process. And then in the final one, the final PowerPoint presentation, you'll have a discussion PowerPoint on qualitative, quantitative, and mixed methods designs. You notice what we're trying to do is break these PowerPoints into smaller sections that you can view at a time that you have available. If that's 2 in the morning, if that's 10 o'clock in the morning. If that's 6 o'clock at night, you can just kind of plug in some headphones into a laptop and take a listen. My goal of the course is simple: to help you understand what nursing research is and why it's important to know it and how you use it in everyday practice. Because regardless of the political views of the national healthcare policies and that, the need will always be there to use evidence-based practice with solid research backing it up. So here's the books that you need for our course here, Nursing Research by Pollitt and Beck. Make sure it is the 9th edition. It will be the most up-to-date in terms of understanding the Affordable Health Care Act and other advances that are occurring in nursing research. The APA manual should start looking a little bit worn at the binding, hopefully between classes you've been taking already and this one. That should be at your side with every project that you're working on, guys, through this whole program. It's essential that part of professional development and professional presentation includes a solid writing style, and the healthcare professions, and specifically nursing, utilize APA format as its model. Speaking of models, the Newman Systems model will be referenced as part of this class as well. That's why it's good to hang on to that book. It will serve as a nursing framework when we reach that section of the course. So in this course, we're going to identify how nursing research applies to your nursing practice. This is one of the reasons I had you come up with a couple of ideas for what it is you're going to follow through the semester in terms of nursing topic ideas there, because it needs to be something that you are involved in, you are getting excited about, you are interested in learning more about your nursing practice. And we're going to help develop a better evidence-based nursing practice, and that comes through better communication and problem skills, as you see, better health outcomes, and how to critically examine and analyze scientific claims and theories. Let me put it to you this way: if you are looking to make a change at work, which is going to sound better, saying, I don't like how we're doing this, we need to do a better job of this, and I don't like it. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little. Or does it say, well, recent research is showing this, and according to so-and-so, these are the types of things that we should be looking at for better health outcomes, saving us money, and helping nurses complete their cares in a more efficient manner. One versus the other sounds quite a bit more solid when you're presenting it. And then we're going to have you understand the steps of qualitative, quantitative, and mixed methods research. Those are the basic cores that are involved in research, and certainly we'll get into more detail when we talk about it. Going to understand ethics in research and the rights of human subjects. This is one of my favorite areas because we see some amazing topics being talked about, and there was some interesting travesties that have been done in society, and according to the news media, may still be going on as well. How to critically evaluate research for credibility for use as evidence-based practice to improve patient health outcomes and provide safe patient care as part of the healthcare team. That is one of the baccalaureate essentials of nursing's statements that all nursing programs are based on, and it is important for you to know what makes a good research-based article, because it's amazing to me how many articles on the surface look like, wow, this is saying that, but when you learn how to dig deeper into it and look at how it was done, maybe they were doing it for a particular cause or a particular funding source, or didn't turn out the way they wanted to, but they wanted to make sure they got the money anyway, so they tweaked it to make it work. And you need to know how to differentiate between those. For our course, attendance is really a big thing. Attendance is important. And you're thinking, well, online attendance. Well, we do have a system in place that helps track how often and for how long you're going on particular sections. So you can't just click that you went into a section and have that count. But waiting till the last end is not a good idea in this course. And in fact, we're going to have discussion boards as we go through here, and we're going to have projects that each week that are mini projects to help you learn there, as well as the major projects that you see in the course. But it's important that you check in and see what your students, you almost said your co-workers, are doing, and also keeping in touch with me. Communication is so huge in any course, but especially in this course. This is why I have instituted Google Docs as part of this so that you can actually work together on certain projects depending on the class, or work with me in both a synchronous and an asynchronous type format. And that's going to be what makes this work. But you need to take the responsibility to be a part of it. You have the flexibility with an online course that you can do this pretty much at any time. You can make arrangements with me for virtually any time, although I will tell you I don't know about 3 in the morning, but we can set up times that work pretty much for you to go over things without having to do the email catch-up train. We can actually go on at the same time on a project you're working on, have a conversation that takes place live time or separate time there, and we can highlight certain areas so that you're able to better complete your work and have a better understanding of it. Well, let's get down to the nuts and bolts of things. Certainly you're asking, how do I get a good grade in this class? Well, we have several projects that are due, and at first this list may look a little overwhelming, but let's go through it one by one. First, the annotated reference bibliography. The City Training Human Rights Certification, which is an online certification program that you'll be completing. This will be helpful actually in future studies, especially if you're going on to any graduate work. Completing 4 article review tools. The 4 tools will be done on various weeks through the program. A concept map, where you'll actually be developing an online concept map to help you better understand how your ideas are flowing together as you're working on your individual projects. Your major project will be an evidence table project with the critique of 1 article. We'll have more details on all of these in just a moment. A final examination, which will be a accumulation of what you've learned through the whole course to help make sure that you have a clear understanding of things. And of course, very important, participation each week. And participation will be in the form of online discussion boards that you and many times I am participating in myself. Let's start with the annotated bibliography project. As you see here, it's not simply a writing or a rewriting of the abstract. It's not just writing a summary of the article, but what it is a synthesis of the particular article. You're actually going to be locating 5 scholarly, peer-reviewed articles for this project. And this means you'll be using the services of the library, which we're going to be covering in the course on the best way to use the library's information. I can tell you straight out, simply going and doing a Google search just isn't going to cut it for this project there. The whole purpose of this course is to help you learn how to discover and critique true information, true journal type information for what you need to know. And I'll help you through this so you're not on your own floating out there. We're going to make sure that you have the right kind of articles chosen and that you get the concept of having an annotated bibliography done correctly so that you really get to know each of these articles. And this will ultimately help you when it comes to completing the major project for the course. Then there's the human rights certification. We use the city certification process that is available through the Concordia University website. Instructions will be provided for you both on the course itself and in the guide and workbook that is available for this class as well. Upon completion, you're going to upload your completion certificate in the appropriate Blackboard drop box as proof of completion. If there's any issues where you haven't done that correctly, don't worry, I'll make sure that we help you get it done correctly. And it's important to note here that an 80% pass rate is expected, and you can retake the things as many times as you need to get it done right. Then there's the 4 weekly article review tools. These will be interspersed at different weeks through the course, and what the purpose is to help supplement the learning that you're doing in a particular area that week. So what you're going to do is there'll be an article that you need to find on Salmon in the Concordia Library, easy to work with there. And then read through the article, really get to know it so that you understand the different components in there, and then answer the questions. And truly, by looking for the answers to the questions and using your textbook and other resources that are provided to you to answer those questions, it'll help you develop a deeper understanding of the subject matter that we're talking about that week. That'll be submitted into the appropriate Blackboard Dropbox as well so that you can give you feedback on it and a grade on it. Another project due is the concept map. And the concept map is a newer type technique. It's actually been around for a few years now, but it basically helps take your central original idea that you have and help develop it and interconnect it with other components of it. In this case, it'll be the research process to help you better understand how you're developing the topic that you've chosen to follow through this class. This will be an ongoing week by week type thing. Certainly we can meet together and work on it, but it'll just help you give a visual representation of what it is that you're following through the semester with your particular topic that you're bringing into class, which will ultimately be developing research questions, null and research hypotheses for, and taking through the various steps, like I said, of the research process. It's a neat concept, and you'll end up with a finished project that'll look something like this there. Should be an easy part of it as long as you're doing it. Should be an easy grade. Okay, your major project for this course will be the evidence-based table and critique of nursing research. And that's an overwhelming title, but what it's doing basically is pulling everything that you've done through the course together. In a nutshell, you're going to find an article. Your article that you choose will be one of the 5 that you used for the annotation research project, and you're going to take that article and read, and reread the article to really get to know it. Then you're going to complete a critical evaluation tool. The tool is actually found in the Period Checkbook, that is a required textbook for this course, and it'll walk you step by step through each section so that you can create a narrative then from the information collected that helps describe whether the article that you chose was a good article or not on a step-by-step, piece-by-piece basis. And then you're going to submit that along with the next part of it electronically in a Dropbox. Then for the culminating final project for this course, you'll be doing a creation of an evidence table that helps to synthesize the findings. Basically, it's a table you're creating, and there are examples in your assignment guidebook that will describe how you formulated the study question, the table that provides the evidence for the study question that both supports and refutes it, and basically has you look piece by piece through each of the articles to provide sort of a working template type to look at the outcomes, results, the study limitations, the independent, dependent variables, all these things you're going to be learning through the course. In essence, the articles listed there will be ones you follow through the course, and you'll be able to use that perhaps sometime in the future for a study yourself there and know what's inside of the article in a quick glance. Last will be the final examination. I want to stress this isn't your traditional school final examination process, but we will have details provided to you as to the format and what's expected with it as we draw closer to week 8 when this takes place. It's just basically a way to measure the knowledge that you've gained from the first 7 weeks of the course there. Please don't sweat this. You will do fine with this, but you want to make sure that you're following the course sequentially to get the best understanding of things. Well, there it is in a nutshell, and whew, I know it sounds like a lot of work, but you will be able to do this, and I'm certainly going to be there to help. That's why we have everything laid out sequentially, week by week, and it's also the reason why we open it week by week, so that we can keep you on a steady track. So your important part is to follow this course on a week by week basis and try to stay on top. And of course, communicate if some things come up that give you some difficulty doing that. Remember, always use your resources. You have lots of resources available. Certainly the material online, myself, and our embedded librarian, Karen Nowak. The next part is going to talk about the history of nursing research and how it's used in your everyday practice. Thank you.